everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here, a very, very warm welcome to you. My name's Emily and I'm a knitter, crocheter and very occasional sewer. Today's episode is my month-end wrap-up for February. I know, we are here, and I think I say that every time I do a month-end wrap-up. It is always baffling to me how quickly the month-ends appear. Anyway, I'm just at a loss of words for it, to be honest. Anyway, how are we all today? I hope you're all doing well, that you had a lovely week. I also hope you've got some lovely plans for the weekend. I myself don't really have a lot of plans, although today I will be recording my behind the scenes, which will be available tomorrow. Hopefully it will be available around 2 o'clock UK time for yourselves, but we'll see how recording actually goes, because so far this week recording has not been going well. I am a day behind in recording this video today, and yesterday's video, my weekly podcast, was unfortunately not the best filmed, if I'm honest. I was having a lot of issues with my mic, I was having issues with my phone, and I was having issues with myself because apparently I didn't know how to speak yesterday. So yes, there we are. Today I'm extremely tired. Today is actually Thursday, although it is Saturday for yourselves. It is Thursday for me, so I'm nearly at the end of the working week, and it could not come sooner, in my opinion. I am ready for the weekend now. I am done. But anyway, I am hoping you are seeing this when I'd planned to get this video up, which is Saturday. So yes, if you are seeing it, fantastic, I succeeded. If not, my apologies, I'm a bit delayed. But we all get there in the end, right? It'll be fine, absolutely fine. Right, I am going to get started with my month-end wrap-up for February. I'm going to start with the finished objects that I had in the month of February. Now, February was nowhere near as productive as January was. And I blame the Sweet Shop blanket for that, because it just hooked me. As soon as I cast it on, I was hooked. And then everything else just kind of got put to the side, basically. But it is a fantastic pattern. I do highly recommend it. That is the Sweet Shop blanket by Laura Penrose. It's brilliant, and it's good for a scrappy project if you want to use it for scraps. It's great for an Advent project as well, if you wanted to do it, use up some of your Advent yarn. It's just fantastic. I could not sing its praises anymore, really. And also the yarn I'm using, I'm loving it. It's by Attic Spin Dye. It's the Beatrix Potter Club, hand dyed by Attic Spin Dye, and it was just fantastic. And it's just the perfect mix of the two. But anyway, we're not talking about that today, but apparently we are. So there we are. I will properly get stuck in now with the finished objects for February. There were kind of 4. But one of them is actually a frogged item. So I'm going to start with this lovely little item. This is not it is sewn. It's not a knitted or crocheted item, but it is this lovely double-sided, let me get this right, because the last time I mentioned this, or in the behind the seams episode that I made this in, I actually kept referring to it by the wrong pattern name. So let me get this right. It is the double-sided eco bag by Tender Smile Handmade. I will have it all linked below, but it is such a fun little project. And the reason I made this bag is because I basically have a treadmill for days like today, where it is chucking it down outside and I need to get my steps in. So I have a treadmill. It is kind of a fold-away treadmill, so it's really handy, but it has a handle on it. And the handle is sealed all the way around. There's no breaks in it. So what I wanted to do was to get a project bag that I could hook onto this bar so that I can knit or crochet when I'm on my treadmill. It just seemed like a really good idea to me. I've not used it yet, for those who may be curious. I've still not used it, but I do plan to actually give it a good old whirl. Hope maybe this weekend. We'll see what the weather's like. But this is it. The change that I made for it, so it is a reversible bag, so you can just turn it inside out, so you can have it that way around. I like it the other way around. I didn't make it for the reversible aspect. I made it for the shape of the bag. The shape of the bag is perfect for me. All I wanted was a bag that kind of had an opening. I didn't want it to seal because I needed to be able to have the yarn sit in the bag and manoeuvre quite nicely and come out quite nicely as well. But what I have done, the handle, I have altered it. The pattern is a seamless handle, so it doesn't open or anything, but I decided that because I need it to open, I decided to split it, and if I can, I've put some snaps on there. So that is the only change I've made, is that I have made it detachable, and so that I can open it and then hook it onto my bar on my treadmill, seal it up, and then it shouldn't go anywhere in theory. The only way it'll go is if it slides down the bar, which I haven't really considered yet. So who knows? As I say, I haven't tried it yet, so I don't know. But that was product number 1. That wasn't even on my works in progress or my to-do list because that was sewing, so that's a whole other kettle of fish there. Anyway, on to the second finished object, and the second finished object that I finished in February was my sweet pea. This is a pattern by Toft, and it's a pattern that's not currently available because it was a pattern that we got as part of the workshop back in July. So I went to the workshop at Kew Gardens in July, and this, as I say, this was the pattern that they had. And yeah, I finally finished it after all this time. Nothing like a few months late, but there we are, it is done, and I'm really happy. I did sew the head on a little bit high. Yeah, you can kind of see it is a little bit high, but the more I look at it, the more I actually really like it. So I'm really pleased, and I'm just so happy that it's done because it was sitting around the house waiting to be finished for ages. So that is the Sweet Pea by Toft. I don't know if they'll be releasing the pattern. I doubt it because I've not seen, I don't think I've seen any of the others come through. It might be a special thing that they do. I'm not sure how they deal with the patterns that are at the workshops, whether they are just specific to the workshops or whether Kerry has it in mind that at some point they will be released further down the line. But anyway, at the minute the pattern is currently unavailable, but here it is, finished at last. Okay, the next and final finished object that I made in February, that I finished in February I should say, is my lovely Musselburgh hat. And I'm really happy that this is finished. It was my first ever Musselburgh hat. I have not blocked it, I didn't see the need. And I've just realised I've put my hair up again. Every time I demonstrate this hat, my hair is up, which is not ideal. But for those who don't know, the Musselburgh hat is basically a long bit of fabric where you've got a crown on both ends, and then to turn it into a hat, you just fold it in on itself. It's not the easiest to demonstrate, but there we go, fold it in on itself. And I made it a little bit longer because I like a brim on mine. There we go. But I feel like it's too small, if that makes sense. So I think I'll probably wear this without the brim for now, because I like my ears covered. I'm not a slouchy hat person though, so I don't know. I might consider it, but I like a bigger brim, and I also like my ears to be covered, so I'm quite specific with my hats. So I may actually use this as a benchmark. Make sure my hair's all right. I might use this as a benchmark in terms of how long to knit the hat. As I say, it was my first time making it, so you know, there's room for error, but I'm really happy. And the yarn I used was by Dye and Knit by Kate. She has a lovely shop on Etsy, highly recommend checking her out. Her yarn is gorgeous, and the fibre content is very unusual for this one, and I can't for the life of me remember what it was. But in previous podcasts I will have mentioned what the fibre content was. Unfortunately, I don't have the label for it. I'm not entirely sure where it is because I've used all the yarn now, because I actually made a pom-pom for the hat as well. I'm still not friends with this. I don't know how I feel about handmade pom-poms because I feel like it's just going to fall apart. I have pulled it really tight, but yeah, I'm just not sure. But anyway, here is the pom-pom, and I might make it a detachable pom-pom so that I can, because I do like a pom-pom. I think it just completes the hat. But yes, I'll see how I feel. I'm still not sure, but the hat is finished anyway because I can wear it. It's fine. So I'm really pleased that that is done. Just in time for summer, eh? Or spring. warmer weather is coming and I'm making all the winter woolies. Anyway, the last finished object, which technically is not a finished object, it is a frogged project, is my For Fox's Sake sweater. It is now frogged. I did show this in my podcast yesterday. Oh my goodness. Oh, everything is just falling all over. I'll tell you what, shall I just show you the colours? There we are. The 4 colours. So there we are. The whole sweater is now frogged, and it was just the body. I hadn't done the sleeves, but I had completed the body, but it was just far too big. So it was on the to frog list. So I'm really pleased I frogged this now, because it means that when I finally finish my Dartmoor sweater, I can then cast this on again and knit it to the right size this time. I'm thinking of doing the smallest size, because I think I did the medium. I need to check my notes. They are over there. How cute is this, by the way? It's just adorable. Yeah, I've put it in my notes what size I did, what needle I used. So I'll probably use the same needle, and I will go probably for the small, because I'm pretty sure it was the medium, and hopefully go from there and see how I go. And I think this time, as I'm making it, I'm going to do what I did with my pink fizz, and I'll block it at certain stages and try it on, because I feel like that really helped with my pink fizz, and the fit of my pink fizz is perfect. So I feel like that is definitely the way to go. With my Dartmoor sweater, I was just thinking my Dartmoor sweater is also massive, but I think the Dartmoor sweater is designed to be massive. So I'm not too fussed about that. Plus it's a really quick knit. So anyway, we'll see how we go with that one. But anyway, so technically 4 finished objects, although one is actually a frogged item. But 4 whips done. Down, I should say. 4 whips down. There we go. For February. So it's not too bad considering how focused I have been on the Sweet Shop blanket. However, the majority of those finished objects were done during my behind the seams episode. So I'm really hopeful for my behind the seams episode that I'm recording today, that you'll be seeing tomorrow. I'm really hopeful that I will get a fair amount done again, and hopefully March will be in a good stead for starting. That's what I'm hoping for. Right, on to the next item on the agenda, and that is Scrappy projects. Now, I do have 3 Scrappy projects currently on the needles, or hook. I do have one on the hook. I have one that's a Scrappy Granny stripe blanket. I'm doing the Battenberg blanket, that's 2 on the hook, and then I'm doing a Mitred Square blanket as well. All 3 I've done nothing to this month. I've just been so distracted by everything else, but hang on. Just going to have a quick sip of my drink. Oh, hang on. Oh, I'm on the squash today. This is my 24 hours of Le Mans. This is actually the first year that I went to Le Mans, which is 2011. And these cups are the cups you get when you get a beer, basically. We have many of them. It's ridiculous. You can give them back and they give you the deposit back for the cup. But we always keep them because we always use them as drinking cups. But yeah, I'm not on the tea at the minute because I feel like I've had far too much tea today, and I think that's why I've got a bit of a headache. So onto the actual hydration. This is just squash or cordial. I call it squash. I don't know what it's called, referred to elsewhere in the world, but this is basically orange squash or orange cordial. I think some places call it syrup. I'm not sure, but I basically have it really weak because I like water, but I also like a bit of flavouring in every so often. I don't know why this has turned into a strange waffle. Hang on. Anyway, now I'm a little bit more hydrated. Let's carry on. So I've got nothing to show you in terms of the Scrappy projects because I've done nothing. I think I'm going to rip out my Mitred Square blanket. I was doing that as part of the knit along with Anne from Toby Knits, but I'm going to rip it out because I've learned some new things in terms of squares and how to finish them nicely. So this is all from the Sweet Shop blanket. So I think I'm going to tailor my Mitred Squares to kind of be in a similar vein to how the Sweet Shop blanket works, just in the edging, because I feel like that's going to work so much better for me. But I'm going to have a think and then I might look at doing that. But anyway, that's the updates on the Scrappy projects. Works in progress numbers. Let's go. This one surprised me actually. I don't know why it surprised me, but it did. So I have currently 13 works in progress. Those are both currently being worked on. They are also items that are what I would consider paused whips or problem whips. So I've got 13 in total. And then I have 3 scrappy projects. So that gives me a total at the end of February of 16 works in progress. And the surprising thing to me is that that is the exact same number that I had at the end of January. So there's nothing changed. Despite the fact that I finished technically finished 4 objects, I must have cast 4 things on. I'm trying to think what they are because I don't know what they are. Sweet Shop Blanket. There was the Honey It's Cold Out socks. There is the the April Snow wrap. Maybe the Mitred Square Blanket. I'm not sure when I cast that on. It might be the Mitred Square Blanket. Possibly. But yeah, anyway, that's what's happened. It's not really... I'm not... Oh, sorry, no. Yes, actually, no. The 4 finished objects, one of them is a sewing project. So I must have started the Mitred Square Blanket in January. That sounds better. And the eco bag that I made was a sewing project. So it wasn't even on the works in progress list because my works in progress list is just specifically for knitting and crochet. So that okay, now it makes sense. But yeah, same as January, nothing's changed. We'll see for March. I'm going to try harder for March. We're going to get a bit more done. I might actually add another bird in March as well. It should have happened in February, but it didn't. So there we are. Right, on to my favourite section, and that is my plans section. I love this section because it means that I can think about all the wonderful things that I can cast on. Whether it's going to happen, who knows, but it's just food for thought, if you will, and it also gives you a little idea on what kind of things I want to cast on and what kind of things might be coming to the channel soon, hopefully, fingers crossed. Right, okay, so the first item, actually, I've been saying this one for a while, and I think I will cast it on this month because I would like to get it made and I would like to get it gifted because I now have the size and everything like that. And yes, this is a gift project that I will hopefully be casting on, and it is the Dotty Cardigan by All About Amy. And mine is a state, I've got fibres all over it, but here it is. I should have worn it really, but this is the Dotty Cardigan by All About Amy. And I love this pattern. I have made it 3 times. It's a long, oversized, boxy cardigan, has 2 pockets, and it does have a button band, but it doesn't actually close. There's no buttons on it, it's just the band. So there we are. You can see I've worn this a lot because I've got quite a shiny elbow there, haven't I? I think that was a shiny elbow that I saw. But anyway, I love this cardigan. It's so cozy. I love wearing it. I made one for one of my closest friends, and she's got the exact same one because she was threatening to steal mine. So I thought I'd better make her one quick before she went home with it. So she has one, and one of my cousins has one in a beautiful colour, which I'm about to show you. And then one of my other friends mentioned that she'd quite like a cardigan or something, and she showed me a couple of pictures, and I thought, I know the cardigan. So I showed her the picture of the cardigan. She loved it. So I was like, fab, I will make that for you. Let me know what colour, what size. And she said, colour-wise, she was thinking kind of grey or beige colour. And I was like, yes, my cousin had a similar one. So maybe this colour. She loved the colour. So here it is. This is the colour. I'll bring it closer. There you go. The colourway is called Parchment. And the yarn is Stylecraft Special Chunky. It is 100% premium acrylic, and it's just beautiful. And every single one that I have made out of this yarn, and it's just fantastic. So yeah, I love it. So I have actually bought 20 balls of this, and that's because I am making one for my friend and I'm going to be making one for me because I love this colour. When I made the one for my cousin, I didn't want to let it go because it was beautiful. So I'm really looking forward to making another 2 of these. But the one that I'd like to cast on is the gift for my friend because that is obviously more pressing than me having another oversized cardigan. So that is one plan. The next plan is to continue, I keep saying this, to continue with the lovely 12 Birds of Christmas by Kerry Lord of Toft. They are in this A Partridge in a Pear Tree book, and they're lovely. And you might be able to, well, you should be able to see the majority of them up here. How many are up there now? There's 8 up there, so I'm working on bird 9. I'm so close. I've only got 4. I'm nearly finished with bird 9, and then I've only got 3 left to do. But what I also mentioned actually was, I don't know if there's a picture of them in here. I don't think there is, which is a real shame because I kind of want to show you them. But they have, when I bought this book, I bought it directly through Toft's website. And when you do that, you then get in your portal, you get the PDF patterns for all 12 birds, but in miniature. And I think they would be fantastic to make and put on my tree at Christmas. I think that would be wonderful. So I'm just adding extra to my plate here. First things first, I want to finish the big birds, so they'll all be done. And then I will hopefully look at doing the mini birds so that they can go on my tree at Christmas. That's the plan. But yes, so that's another plan in the pipeline that hopefully I can continue throughout the month of February until I actually finish them. So there we are. I have, which one should I show you first? I will show you this one first actually. So this is the Cotton Cuts Puzzle Mystery Quilt. I believe, I don't know which version, it's called the Tree of Life. So it's the most recent one that's happening now. We did Clue 1 in January. No, we did Clue 1 in February, didn't we? Yes, Clue 1 was February. And absolutely loved it. I had planned to do it, the first Clue, when I did my first behind the scenes. But during that episode, I realised that I didn't actually have the thread that I needed to sew the Clue. I could have used any thread because you can't really see. So if I'm going to hold one up, this is from Clue 1. So here we are. These are they. This is one of them. And you can't even see the threads. I mean, obviously you can at the back. So I actually bought some. Do I have it in here? That would have been a very sensible place to put it. I'm going to have the same issue, aren't I? I don't actually know where the thread is. Oh, it must be in my sewing box. But yeah, anyway, we get the Clue through and then we sew the Clue. But I couldn't sew it because I didn't have the thread. So I'm looking forward to tomorrow for yourselves. That's when you'll see the video. But I'm looking forward to it because I will be able to work on the Clue. The Clue is out. It was out yesterday. It's all right. I'm recording in advance so that I can edit in time. I'm just trying to remember when you're seeing this. But the Clue came out on the 1st of March. So I am really excited because I'm going to be able to include it in my behind the scenes episode. I'm really looking forward to it. So that is one thing I'm doing. Here is my colour palette and it's just gorgeous. I went for Tranquil because, yeah, I really fancied this and I really like the colours. So there's Clue 1A actually. It looks well nice. I was really pleased with my efforts, gotta say. It's my first time doing any proper quilting. I've done a little bit of quilting, but it's nothing fancy. It's just been, it's been nothing like this. But the nice thing about this is that all of the parts are actually cut out for us. So all we need to do is seam it all together. In fact, I can show you Clue 2. Here we are. So here is Clue 2. And all the pieces, you can just about see there, are pre-cut for us. We then get the Clue, which is this. So we get our Clue and then we just follow the instructions on here and find the right pieces and sew the right pieces together. And it's I would say it's a doddle, but I did struggle when I did Clue 1 because obviously it's the first time doing it and I was a little bit confused, to say the least. It doesn't take much to confuse me, to be fair, but that was the situation anyway. But I have the thread, so that is going to be worked on and I'm very excited. Right, the final plan that I have for the month of March is I would really, really like to cast on something from this lovely, lovely book. This is Colourwork in the Round by Anna Devaux of A Long Avec Anna. And it's beautiful. I love this book. I got this a little while ago now, actually, but what I love about it is the lovely dedication in the front. I think it's really, really sweet. I'm just so happy with this book. And one of my big goals for this year was to really knuckle down and get better at colour work. Although I have done a lot of colour work, I would really like to get a really solid technique when it comes to doing colour work, especially for colour work yolks. I'm not daunted by them. I will definitely dive in and give it a go, but my biggest problem is when it comes to long floats. Anything longer than 5 stitches that I've got to carry for, it's a bit daunting. And I've learned to catch the yarn, but I feel like there's something I'm missing. So I really want to work on my tension with colour work, and I really want to get it nailed this year. So this book is going to come in massive handy. And plus, the pattern that I want to cast on is this beautiful hat. So you can see it there, but you can see it better here. I really want to cast this hat on. Let me find it and tell you what it is. I mean, this book is incredible because all the instructions are here. So you can see that's quite a good chunk of techniques and help. And then the patterns are in the back here. So you get so much information and help on doing colour work. It's just fantastic. So what I want to cast on is called the Blisco hat. Here it is. I really, really think that's beautiful. And the colour that I have, I actually treated myself and I went for a long Abac Anna's yarn. So the colours that I've got is, let me just double check, is that the name? Yes. So I went for Louvre, which is kind of a grey colour. I'll show you. There we are. These are all 100% superwash merino, and they are the double merino. So I've got that one. Oh no, don't chuck it everywhere. It nearly went in my drink. And then the other colour I've got is called Amethyst. There's the name of the colour. And it's this beautiful, almost plum colour. It's kind of very akin to the colour that we got in the Toft Advent this year. Bit more, a bit paler, but it's beautiful. And I think those are going to make such a lovely hat. I think it's going to be beautiful. I'm so excited to do this. And if I can, a little extra bonus, there is another pattern by a long Abac Anna that I really want to make. And that was the main reason for buying the yarn in the first place, because she does this vest top that's kind of a high neck vest top, and it's a stripy vest top. I cannot for the life of me remember what the name of the pattern is. I do have it, but I didn't dig it out in time for doing this episode today, so my apologies for that. I'm sure there will be someone in the comments who will know exactly what that pattern is and will let me know, but I will dig it out and I will also put it in the description as well. Underneath the Blisco hat I will note what that pattern is, and these are the two colours that I want to use for that top, and I think it's going to be a really nice summery top for me. So I really want to get it started. So obviously I'm going to be using the Louvre, and then I'm also going to be using Celadon. So that's that one, and that's the colour. It's kind of like, I would say it's a darker grey, but it's almost got like a bit of green in there and maybe a bit of blue. It's just beautiful. So those are the two colours that I'm going to be using for my top. But as I say, probably first and foremost will be the hat. So these two probably, because I do really want to have a little play with colour work sooner than later, because it was a plan, as I say, for this year. And I haven't done any yet, apart from frogging my For Fox's Sake, which is the reverse of what I need to do. So I do need to actually get a wiggle on. Also, here is my little trusty notebook. This is going to be my crafting journal, which I showed you yesterday. If you saw my podcast yesterday, that is. Again, my apologies for the abysmal footage yesterday. My footage just went completely haywire. My mic stopped working. The camera just decided, oh no, we're out of space, and it was just like, oh my gosh. It was definitely a day. So this book I am now going to start filling in, because obviously it is March now, so I can start filling this in. I haven't done it yet, but that is what I'm going to be doing, probably today being Saturday, and I can fill in what projects that I want to work on in terms of paused whips that I should do at least 6 hours this month. I will also be writing down my cue, so what I've just told you in my plans section, I'll write those in. I need to write my gift plans in, I also need my other crafts writing in there, so I've got some cross stitching on the go. I also have some sewing that I really want to do because there's a dress that I want to make, so I might tell you about that tomorrow. But yes, anyway, I will be filling in my weekly goals, and I'll also be filling in this section here as well, which is my calendar, and I think I'm going to use this for YouTube stuff. So yeah, I'm going to be filling this in tomorrow. Today, when you see this, I'll be filling it in now, but you will see the video tomorrow. It's really hard when it's doing filming in advance. I shouldn't really, yeah, anyway, it's just how I do it. But anyway, I think that covers everything for today. So let me know what plans you have for March. What do you want to cast on? Are there any techniques that you want to try out in March? Let me know below. I'm very, very curious. And also, when you let me know what you're either working on or what you've got planned, I get very excited because then I discover, usually anyway, discover new designers and new patterns. So I do find it very exciting. So as I say, please let me know what plans you have for March. I would love to know. Anyway, I'm going to leave that there. Thank you so much for watching. As always, it means the absolute world to me. I hope you have a wonderful rest of the weekend, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video.